DHS wants to add 200 new child welfare specialists over the next 2 years. In addition, the state agency will stop using overcrowded shelters and recruit more foster parents. These are just some of the changes outlined in a new 5-year plan to improve child welfare operations. DHS has faced intense public and legislative scrutiny over the years, particularly after children in its care died. Governor Mary Fallin, along with several other state leaders, spoke about the new proposal at the state capitol on Friday morning.
We believe the agency needs to be more transparent and more accountable, and that's what the initiatives and the goals in this plan include. The agency will need restructuring. It will also need to be more vigilant about monitoring our children and protecting their safety. And it will require greater support in money and personnel from the state. To get there, DHS officials have worked with my office, the legislature, outside expertise, and a variety of other parties to produce a first draft of a plan that we are unveiling today. And it's called the Pinnacle Plan. The Pinnacle Plan offers a vision and a roadmap forward that will better serve our children and ensure that taxpayer dollars are spent wisely and effectively. The state of Oklahoma is committed to making a good faith attempt to implement this plan and to achieve the goals set out within it. We have no intention of falling short. I want to make that very clear. Each of us today are committed to make sure this plan succeeds.
The plan is phased in over 5 years. By the end of year 5, what the plan calls for is a total annual investment every year after of $100 million. But the plan does not ask for the full $100 million in year 1. It's phased in. Basically, there's a sequencing that's been done of trying to identify the most important initiatives for year 1, then year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. The estimated cost of the first year is just under $30 million. When you look at year 2, it's around $30 million as well. And if you look at the total, it's actually on the back of that page. Year 3, $14 million, close to 15. It's in that orange line. Year 5 is about 10 million, and year 4 is about 10 million, and year 5 is about 9 million. So by the end of that time, there's slightly over $100 million investment, and after that $100 investment would be in the base, if you will, of DHS's budget going forward.
$100 million every year.
Yes, but not on top of what's already there. They start the investment incrementally so that by the end there's been $100 million invested in that, and that money continues year after year.
So to keep at the same level, you'd have to spend $100 million more after the 5th year every year.
It would be part of what, kind of when you look at DHS now, what's your total appropriation? Any idea?
I can answer that.
Okay. So let's say that the total appropriation now to DHS is somewhere around $400 million. By the end of this plan, assuming everything else stayed the same, the total appropriation to DHS would be $500 million every year. So there'd be $100 million invested in children each year.